Hi, welcome to Tiny Garage Fabrication. My name is Matt, and today we're going to go pick up my newest project car. Now this car has been sitting since 2008, maybe 2006, I'm not really sure. Unfortunately, the previous owner passed away earlier this year, and I picked up this car at his estate auction. Now we're going to go pull the car out of his backyard, get it back to my place, and see if we can't get this thing to fire up, and maybe even drive it. Let's see. Now I do want to say that I did have a few camera mishaps during getting it. A lot of people around. I was super busy. It was raining. I did mess up in hitting the record button on a few scenes that I really wanted to get for you guys, but I just couldn't, and you know, that's life sometimes. But if you like what I was able to throw together for you anyway, make sure to subscribe, make sure to hit that like button, and leave a comment with any suggestions on what I should do to this project in the future. That's enough chit chat for now. Let's go get the car, get it to my place, and see what we can do with it. Here it is, my Euro Nugget, 1976 BMW 2002. Car is in decent shape. It's got some rust in the trunk, rust in the hood, some rust other places. Trim's gone in some spots. Interior appears to be all there. It's a bit disgusting, but it's all there. Now this is a later model, so it's got the gigantic extendo bumpers. Even though this has the fog lights on it, I kind of like it, but I still want to get rid of it and get slim bumpers. Now under the hood, this thing is home to a lot of species. We've got these gorgeous wasps right here. They're red and purple. Never seen anything like it, but I let them stay. They're still living there, actually. And just kind of generally gross. But it's all there. Now doing this for the comments section, pulling out the spark plugs, and I will shoot some fogging oil in the cylinders. Now this is used for long-term storage on engines, boat engines specifically. That's why I have it. But it's a type of oil, will lubricate the cylinders, especially when I get to turning this thing over. The spark plugs all looked pretty good. Nothing too concerning, really.
How's it going back here?
So far so good.
Okay.
Oops. I'll have to fix that later.
The weather holds out for you.
I don't think it will. I was hoping to be a little farther along than this by now, because it's supposed to start dumping pretty bad at right about 2 o'clock. Now the battery that was in here was really bad. The battery tray is really rusted. I had a heck of a time getting this thing out of there. The hold down was not letting the battery come out. I brought a small battery with me. We'll see how it does. As soon as I put the battery in, now this is a good sign. Parts of this are already coming to life. Tag on hazards, we're going. Alright, so the plan is to put this little beast in first gear, e-brake off. Okay, that's janky, but turn the motor. So no spark plugs in it, it should turn easily. With this in first gear and the clutch disengaged, this thing should drive its little way out. Not drive with the engine running, but the starter will propel the car. That's the plan. That's plan A. I might have a plan B. All right, here goes try one. Plan A. Alright, dug out in front of the tires. Let's try round 2. Getting somewhere. Yeah, we're getting somewhere. Well, looks like I'm already at plan B. I'm gonna try pushing because either the battery's kind of weak. I mean, it is a small battery and I'm asking a lot out of it. So, one way or another, I'm getting it out of here. Even if I gotta bring the truck in and pull it out, then that's what I'll do next. That is my plan B. Started to rain, so we'll see how long I want to stay out here doing this. Oh wow. I'm not pushing this thing. Son of a bitch. Yeah, it's at this point I realized that I missed a whole bunch of footage, everything from getting it out of the backyard and onto the trailer. And I got it up onto the trailer with my little hitch mounted winch. Pretty cool device. I've got a whole video to it, link up there in the corner. Oh, we're back at the house. It was a fun drive with this thing, to say the least. And get it off the trailer, get it up into the driveway, and see where we can go with it. Just like when I got it out of the backyard of the previous owner's house, I'm using the starter motor to get it up the driveway here. And I'm using that same battery. Either it's really weak, so I'm putting a jump pack on it now, but honestly I think it's the cabling itself. I tried cleaning it up, but if you don't have a good power and ground to the starter, then it just can't work its best. Now I've got the winch hooked up to it, anchored to my garage floor, and we'll go ahead and pull it the rest of the way up the driveway. Work smarter, not harder, right? Well, got her up in the driveway. Now, first thing I'm gonna do is get some of this crud out of here so I feel more comfortable putting my body inside of this because it's super gross. And then we'll get to the engine and see what we can do to get this thing started. First things first, to get rid of this sheepskin cover. That thing deteriorated a long time ago and it was super disgusting. Really, there's just a lot of junk in here. There was a car cover, which I may use. Old license plates. These had the expiration date of July 2006. It gives me some indication of when this was possibly on the road last. as well as the original owner's manual. This is pretty cool. Neat find. Now to clean out the engine bay, this cowl was packed full of pine needles, straw, grass, all kinds of stuff. I'm pretty sure that some mice lived underneath that brace on the cowl for quite a while. It certainly had the looks of a mouse house. You can see my little wasps still living there, having a great time. Now I'm putting the original spark plugs back in. Not original to the car, but original to me getting it. The ones I pulled out at the auction house, I went ahead and throw these back in, as well as the same plug wires that were on it. I mean, I'm going to try to start this thing as I found it, because where's the fun at throwing new parts at it right away? Yeah, so this has a 2-barrel Weber carburetor as a popular upgrade apparently for these cars, and it's even got a little K&N air filter and air filter lid. Thought that was kind of neat. I'll probably wash this thing up so we can reuse it. I'm just making sure that things actuate and things appear to be in place. I don't really know much about the Webers. I need to get a manual and look them over. But, you know, let's throw a battery in it and see if we can start it. Now there's oil already in it. This is the oil that was in it previously. It's a little low, but it's clear and it doesn't smell bad. And I didn't show you under the oil cap, but the valve train looks like it was installed yesterday. Perfectly golden, no crud, really nice. And yeah, starting fluid. I hear you, comment section, but remember that fogging oil I put in there? Don't worry, my cylinders are lubricated. Now that little kickover kind of gives me some good vibes. I think this thing's gonna fire up. Now everybody knows that the best fuel comes in Mountain Dew bottles, so let's pour some down the overflow to fill up the float bowl. I realize now this is not the overflow, it's dumping fuel straight down the Venturis. Shit. Yeah, maybe this one's the overflow. Now I realize the linkage is really tight, and I'll squirt some penetrating oil on it and hopefully free that up so that I can use the gas pedal inside the car. Alright, so with some fresh gas in the carburetor, a little more starting fluid because the comment section loves starting fluid. Giving it a few tries and it's just not doing it. Yeah, honestly, it's turning over slow. I know I got it on fast forward here, but trust me, it's turning over slow, and I'm gonna believe it's the fault of the battery. Try to jump it. Still not really going very good, so pulled the battery out of my 89 All-Track Camry. We'll throw that in there a little better, a whole lot newer, and let's give her a go. Now that is incredibly satisfying. Hardly any smoke out the tailpipe. It's running fine. Idle's a little high, but that's because the throttle is kind of stuck. The throttle linkage is still very tight, but we'll work on that. Alright, I think she still needs some time. Might need to warm up, but let's fire it up again. thing just purrs along. Sounds like an old tractor engine or something, but it sounds good as far as I can tell. I have no experience with the M10 BMW engine, but this one runs. Also, as far as I can tell, the fuel pump is working. We're pulling fuel. Granted, it's very old fuel, but we're pulling fuel out of the tank, and it seems to be running because the little bit of gas I poured in there should just about be gone by now. But it keeps on keeping on. I gotta say, I'm impressed. Nothing left to do. Throw some fresh gas in it and drive the piss out of it. Well, I can certainly say that I need a shower, but I think this little car just earned a bath. I'm just using some cheap dollar store degreaser and a little brush, just trying to get, the top layer of filth off this thing. I will definitely be digging in and cleaning this a lot more thoroughly down the road, but for now, I think it deserved at least this dust off. And for the exterior, once again, just some cheap degreaser and a little bit of a stiffer brush. Let's see if we can't just get this top layer of crud off of here. Yeah, just in case you're curious about the car on the trailer in the background, we'll get to that here in just a moment. Now here's a little before and after of the car with the wash. You can kind of see the grunge that was on it after sitting for, somewhere between 10 to 15 years. And then with just the lightest of scrubbing with some degreaser and a dish brush, it actually looks pretty good. I can't do much for the rust, but it isn't awful. However, listen to the brakes here. You'll hear some pops. Now that sound generally isn't good. Something is really bad in the brake system. I need to go through it, so we won't be driving this today. So while I was at it, I bought this Nugget as well. I was kind of hoping I might be able to use the rear panel and swap it onto mine, but there's nothing left. Trunk was completely rotted through. Engine was in the trunk. I do have another set of struts, which is kind of nice. I can modify those. It does have good glass all the way around. Might be able to find a couple things inside here. There's a transmission. Kind of looking forward to seeing if that's worth a hoot. I've got the gauge panel. I've got the early style silver one, so if I want to not run a wood grain dash, I have this available to me. Other than that, this thing is toast. Now, the main reason I bought it was because it's an early model, so it's got the slim bumper, and it's over here. But what I couldn't see, because this thing was buried in the dirt, is that this bumper is pretty bad shape. I'm gonna put it on anyway. Kind of fits the whole Swiss cheese aesthetic, and it gets rid of the park bench bumpers. Well, there we go, everybody. There was a lot of success in this video and only a little bit of failure. I'm super impressed that the car fired up as easily as it did. Now, I do need to go through and do fresh gas and fresh fluids and spark plugs and all that kind of stuff. I bought another box at that auction that had a bunch of new parts in it. There was a new cap, rotor, condenser, points, new spark plugs, and a few other things that I'll go ahead and throw on the car. The Weber carburetor that's on it, rebuild kits are plenty available for that. And then I just got to kind of go through things. Kind of a bummer that I didn't get in the car and drive it, but the hydraulics for the brakes and the clutch are both a complete mess, and I'm not about to put that thing on the road if I don't know that it can get even around the block and back to my house safely. I don't currently have the budget to get new parts for any of that. I looked up some of the pieces, and for master cylinders, brake pads, hoses, things like that, it's going to be several $100s. And so that's all just gonna have to kind of come over the next few weeks, and we'll get a video update when that happens. But while we wait for that, I've got another awesome project that I'm about to introduce. My whole next series of videos are going to be kind of a daily vlog style build on a project that I got about 3 weeks before I got this BMW. Super cool, some American muscle. I hope you tune in, I hope you subscribe, I hope you like this content and all the rest of my content in the future. Leave those comments, let's talk about what we should do with this car, and I think that just about wraps it up. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you in the next video.